on. Here we are. We are live. Episode 1-2, our dozenth episode of Three Blind Vikes. And tonight, special guest with us for a little while. She is a stand-up comic. She has worked in sports radio in New Mexico, right?
Yes.
And she was a co-host of this podcast seems like forever ago, called Heart and Skull. And I was fortunate enough to find this gem and say, yes, I want her to be my co-host on Heart and Skull. And we had a great time with it, and her career has just gone through the roof. But now she lives in Tokyo.
Yeah, what is going on?
The one, the only AMarie Castillo. AMarie, thank you so much for your time tonight.
I am so excited. I wish I had more time for you guys. Hope to come back after we get back on a winning streak here for our Skull family. But no, JB, man, for people that don't know, thank you. It's been a crazy road between. I was talking about it with my husband yesterday. It's so cool how many friendships. As much as a dumpster fire Vikings Twitter is, I can't believe like how many friends I have made off this app, and like real friends. Like JB, like you're a real friend. Like not only have I made content with you, it's like it's crazy. Like so as much as I hate Twitter, I'm very thankful for it.
Right before I was gonna come see you do your stand-up in New York City, and then the Rona hit, and that was
the Rona hit. So no, but thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be a part of this. I'm glad it's at a normal time in Tokyo. I miss out on a lot being in this time zone. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we have some negative stuff to talk about to start with. But we'll.
Thanks for having me on after the Vikings Twitter fan base once again has given up on the Vikings. So thank you.
Because we lost 2 games.
We need the comedic relief for this episode. That's why.
I'm also forever going to be an optimistic fan no matter what. I don't turn on my team like half the fan base. So
listen, AMarie turned me around because I used to be the get off my lawn with the hose guy, and working with her for a while, it's like, you know what? There's no need to be that way.
Well, and it's hard though that we're passionate about fans, but I'm all about being upset, but I mean, I just don't like the wishy-washiness of a fan. You can't love the team and then hate the team when they lose. Like, I just don't like how we turn our backs so quickly, but at the same time, there's still no ring after a million years. So I understand why people are upset, but come on.
I say it's like your kids, right? Your kids mess up. You're not mad. You're just disappointed. And you still love your kids. And you just want them to do better next time. And that's what this Vikings are.
Exactly.
So it was a rough Thursday.
Yep.
The schedule makers who say they do things trying to be fair to everybody, in their infinite wisdom, had the Rams play a home game Sunday. So they didn't have to go anywhere. While the Vikings were in Minnesota on Sunday and had to travel across 2 time zones to play on Thursday night. So right away, I knew there was going to be a problem. And then I saw that on the injury report that, hey, Puka Nacua is back, and so is Cooper Kupp. I said, oh, crap, this is going to be a long night.
Yeah.
And it was. Nacua had 106 yards on 7 grabs. Kupp had a touchdown, 51 yards. They ate up our secondary and spit them out. Our pass rush ended up on the side of a milk carton because we couldn't find them. It was just not a great effort.
That was a good one.
I mean, it was just, it wasn't, the defensive side of the ball was not great in that game. We gave up 28 points after Vikings scores in that game. Immediately after Vikings scores.
It's hard. It's hard to witness that 2 times in a row. I mean, 2 high-powered offenses, especially with the additions of their star receivers being back. I mean, I never sleep on Sean McVay. I don't think the Rams are as bad as people think they are. They have a young, great defense. Their offensive line's exceptional. Matthew Stafford is old, but can still get the job done. I thought this was going to be a shootout in general. You got two of the best play callers in the NFL going head to head against each other. I actually thought it was a great game. And I am never this person, but the officiating in the NFL all around is terrible.
Yeah,
if you're going to be ticky-tacky, call it on both sides.
Yeah.
I totally get it because it's not because we were losing. And two things, I was upset, obviously, but beyond the face mask, every 3rd and long, the Rams got bailed out. I don't think we're surprised. We're surprised to see Brian Flores' defense. I think people have figured us out, so I hope we adjust with that. And the only thing I don't appreciate about Kevin O'Connell, I love the guy. I think he's successful. I think he's a winning coach. Is he abandons the running game. He gets too in his head with the clock. Like the running game was working. Don't abandon the running game. And just like we're fine. Everyone calm down. It's hard because we've been playing so well and it's hard when you're winning, but we're going to be okay.
I'm hoping Cam Akers does something because honestly, we're going to be two to touch the ball 8 to 10 times a game who can do something. Mm-hmm. Ty Chandler, I've given this kid a chance. I thought he was going to be something, and he just hasn't really caught on. He runs too much side to side. He's too hesitant. He doesn't hit the holes the way Aaron Jones does.
Yeah, thank God for Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
And of course, Christian Darrisaw, that is heartbreaking. Most underrated thing that we don't talk about is offensive line, and that sucks.
I mean, you could tell in the game that it was crushing. Like it just kept coming and kept coming, and you could tell in the game how big of an impact he was, literally instantly.
Yeah, and you know he's one of our best offensive linemen. So that's obviously going to hurt your offense. And man, I heard earlier that we're acquiring a left tackle from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Got him.
I know
we have him.
Oh, we have him. Okay,
Cam Robinson we got today. Yep.
So
okay.
Gave up. Ben Gosling says the Vikings get Cam Robinson and a conditional 7th round pick that could go away based on how much he plays, and the Jags get a conditional 2026 5th round pick that could become a 4th round pick.
Okay. Yeah. I think people are going to have mixed thoughts on this as well because they think we need to address the defensive line. But I mean, unfortunately, injuries happen, and this is a major concern, and we need it. So especially because Christian Darrisaw is out for the season. So it is just so unfortunate that it happened on an unnecessary play. But still, don't blame KOC. Like injuries happen. That's part of the game. It's just this is where as a Viking fan, you're just like, why? Like we just can't. It just can't go smoothly. So
well, let me tell you, and here's why. And I saw this, and I get everybody's concern. If we don't commit a penalty on a punt again, that's take a knee. But because we took a penalty that backed us up to a point where taking a knee could end up in the end zone for 2 points, we had to run a play. Now somebody said, just sneak Darnold forward, push him. He can push the line forward. Okay. So you're still running an actual play where your linemen have to block or push forward. And in those scrums, guys get hurt too. So if this was as typical, just take a knee and go to that, doesn't happen. But because we didn't have that luxury, it happened.
Yeah. I just thought these 2 losses though showed that we're not frauds and we are a good team. We've just been figured out. This is a week-to-week league. Teams are going to figure each other out. And every someone says we have an easy schedule with the AFC South ahead. That's not true. No games are easy. Week to week, we saw weird things happen. You saw the Ravens lost to the Browns.
Beat the Ravens.
That's what I'm saying. And someone random is going to beat the damn Chiefs. We know it's football. And we live for it. We love it. It's a week-to-week league. But I'm more concerned about these 3 games than I was the first 5 games, okay? Because we should win, right? I mean, I don't know if you want to get into the Colts, but I watch a lot of Indianapolis Colts football now because I married it. It's we trademark it, my team-in-law. But these aren't going to be easy. No game is easy. I hate it. These are the games you worry more about.
Yeah, the ones you're supposed to win. Exactly. Yeah. That's what Thursday night, right? Everybody said, oh, well, the Vikings will bounce back. It's like, really?
Sean McVay, man. No.
We have to pick our stars of the game from this one. And then you get
fun.
a pick. But we do not pick anybody who plays for the opposition on our stars.
Okay.
I don't care how
for
good they are.
who? Oh, you pick a Viking off the offense
It's
or
all
defense?
Vikings. This is a Vikings show, except for one segment, which we won't talk about right now. But it's a Vikings-based show. So, AMarie, pick your star of the game. We all pick somebody different, so you get to go first as a guest.
Did you guys? You guys haven't done it yet? Okay, now I'm understanding. I'm gonna go with. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm just gonna go with who. No, you guys go first. I wasn't prepared for this.
All right. Well, we'll start.
I have two in mind.
We'll start with Cora, who usually just butts in and gives her answer anyway.
I love that.
That happened one time, and I cannot.
You will never live that down.
Let me see.
And I was so wrong.
Well, that's for the X Factor, but your star could be different. Who was your star of this Rams Vikings?
I'm gonna say Justin Jefferson. He made some really good plays. Even though it felt so frustrating, you could kind of feel everyone was very defeated. He was still in there fighting the whole time.
The one catch was amazing.
Yeah.
Right, I got mine.
So, I mean, in such a disaster of a game that just felt like it sucked the life out of you, he was a shining moment that made you smile and cheer.
Very good. AMarie, who do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna go with I'm obviously Justin Jefferson. I mean, it's so funny. That guy can have 4 people. He's just nasty. He is just God bless him. I'm gonna go with Byron Murphy Jr. because I think always the as high risk and high reward as Brian Flores' scheme can happen. We always force a turnover during the game, and I think it's crucial to us winning every week. So I'm gonna go with Byron Murphy. Who had the one interception of the game.
It was a nice pick too. He got his feet down, and it was really nice. It was a nice play. Cool. Mm-hmm. Dan, we haven't heard from you yet tonight. You've been quiet.
Yeah, because he's watching the World Series. Poor guy.
I'm stressed in my own world here.
I understand. It's a very stressful game.
My star of the game, I think it's got to be Aaron Jones.
Always, yeah.
He's just electric when he touches the ball. He gets faster. He hits the holes quick. He drives his legs and doesn't give up. It became more apparent, and I think it's going to be a huge factor in the road. Getting him some rest with Akers is going to be nice.
Nice. I'm going to go with the Ginger Gunslinger.
Oh, I love him.
It's got to be Sammy. He you know what? He had a solid game. 18 for 25, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns,
He's
no
been
picks.
Playing solid.
And he nearly lost his head in time to get us a win.
I'm happy for Sam Darnold too. I hope this continues success for him as well. Even if he's just whether he becomes a bridge quarterback or a franchise quarterback, I'm very much enjoying this. And don't turn on him.
I hope someone picks him up. And when they were talking about the trade rumors that we're gonna trade for Matt Stafford or whatever, I'm like, there's absolutely no way. Sam Darnold has always been the person to train JJ. There's no way we will trade for Matthew Stafford.
It comes down to coaching too, and Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, even Jared Goff. There's year differential, but I'm very happy for all these guys who are getting success now in the league, and I want it. They're so young. I want a young guy a coach can build. I understand having a veteran guy who has. I mean, Matthew Stafford does have a Super Bowl now, but dude, he's injury prone. He's on his way out. I mean, I'm sorry, but him, Rodgers, everyone, they're old. They're old. There's no point.
I mean, Sammy's young. We talk about this on the show. He's not
he's so young.
Talk about him he's 35.
He's a youngin', but he's a veteran.
Right.
It just baffles me.
Yeah, he just did a longer education and got a really good internship under Kyle Shanahan, and now he's with a really good team. Give the guy a chance, man. Man, you lose 2 games, and obviously it's the highest praised and most blamed position. But man, like he's getting the job done right now. We couldn't ask for anything better. We would not be in this position right now with JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry.
No, we would not.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
And that's not to take away from JJ. He's
Right.
I want him to develop behind someone, and that's gonna be awesome. Then be ready to go and hopefully finally have a franchise core that could last more than maybe 2 years.
Yeah. We talked about the fact that while the injury was awful and miserable and wouldn't wish it on anyone, I feel like it's actually going to be helpful for his development because he wouldn't be pushed into a game too soon. And maybe it's a contact injury where it just wrecks you because you're afraid of getting hit for the rest of your career.
Yep.
So I mean, obviously I don't want him to be hurt. Obviously don't want him, all of that, but I think it's probably going to help him in the end.
He's got a great mindset. He's a smart kid. Hopefully his mobility isn't hurt by this, but yeah, I like the potential of him. And again, Sammy knows what he's there for. And he's got a great attitude about knowing he's a bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
I also believe I understand people have sent me many videos because they're negative Nancy's, and they sent me negative videos about crucial passes he has missed. I understand why you're upset, but overall he's playing well, and he is limiting turnovers. That's another thing I was concerned about. What I'm looking forward to is to see how this team overcomes adversity. Okay, we weren't expecting to be 5-2. I want to see off 2 losses to 2 really good teams, how we come back and how we handle adversity. That's what I'm so excited about this game coming up. I'm so excited. And I get to watch it at a normal time.
Which is good for you. AMarie, we're going to need your help this week.
Okay.
Every week we pick an X Factor. Now, we're giving away a trophy at the end of the season.
I'll tell you.
On this. And we all had rough weeks this week. So I'm going to let you, without telling you who picked who, I'm going to give you the names, and you're going to pick the winner out of the 3 players this week.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. And I'm going to give you the stats, too, so you have something to go off of.
Okay.
So, one person picked Jordan Addison, who had 2 catches for 22 yards on 3 targets.
Okay.
One person took Aaron Jones, who had 58 yards on 19 carries, averaging just over 3 yards a carry, and 37 yards on 2 catches. And one person had Harrison Smith, who had 5 tackles, 2 assists, and 1 tackle for loss. Not our best week of X Factors. Not easy to pick a winner out of these 3. We're leaving it up to you to pick the winner.
Who was the X Factor?
Yeah, who the best of the X Factors was.
It's Aaron Jones. It's going to continue to be Aaron Jones because if you don't establish, I mean, obviously Harrison Smith's my number 1 of all time. He is the X Factor. But Aaron Jones, the running game, if we don't have it, our offense is going to be non-existent. And Jordan Addison isn't going to be open. Harrison is lifelong X though for life. But I'm picking Aaron Jones.
Cora, you are on the board.
Let's go.
That's my first one. Let's go.
Yeah, right now it's 4. I have 4. Dan has 2, and Cora got her first one.
All right, making a comeback.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was just a bad week, though. We really didn't have anybody that on that list that stuck out. So
No.
I'm glad
I thought this was going to be our hardest one. And it was.
It is hard. It is hard, though. Yeah.
it was for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Well, we have a game coming up this week against the Colts.
Yes.
Joe Flacco will be starting, so he'll
unfortunately, I know I was hoping for AR, but here we go, facing adversity, baby.
So we're great against backup quarterbacks. Like we dominate backup quarterbacks like nobody's business.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm really worried about.
For 300 yards.
I'm not worried. I understand your the pass rush, but I'm more. I don't know why enough people are not talking about Jonathan Taylor and the Indianapolis Colts run game. I hope Brian Flores comes up with a good plan. Teams just run all over us, okay? And that is what I'm most concerned about. It sucks going to this game. I still can't believe. I feel bad for the Colts too. I do have a little heart for them, not this week, but in general. They can't find their franchise quarterback since Andrew Luck. AR, I've never seen anything like this, taking yourself out of a game last week. That's insane.
He was tired. He said he was
He
tired.
He got a little puckered.
in a crucial divisional game against the Texans that it was winnable. It's insane. But Joe Flacco, good leader. This made the game. This is like Cooper Kupp, Puka. I don't care what anyone says. The Colts are not as bad as people think they are. Everyone better watch out. Their defense is good. They got some weapons, and Joe Flacco can win games. So I hope that we come back and destroy them.
Love it.
Flacco's throwing for 320 yards and 2 scores. You know.
I mean, even if he, maybe 300 yards, maybe not 2 scores though. I mean, the
2
stats
scores.
look terrible against us, but yeah. So we're gonna have to. This is a big adversity. This is a huge statement, by the way. If we can come back and win, so
absolutely.
Oh man, I am nervous.
Easy game, and you wonder if by changing quarterbacks, if that team's going to have a little spring in their step too.
They will, because with AR, you're going to lose the locker room, because if he's taking himself out of games, you got to you're going to lose your locker room at some point. So, and it's unfortunate because I thought AR was going to be good, but it looks like he's not the answer to their quarterback problems.
Yeah, and if he's tapping out, that's never a good thing.
Also, Vikings Twitter, get off my back for not marrying a Vikings fan. This is hilarious, okay? I was like, okay, my husband's not a bad guy because he's a Colts fan. He's a small market team like us. Nice people. Nice Midwest people.
I don't feel like we have any beef with the Colts.
We don't.
No, we don't.
They're just haters. They're just haters.
It's just funny. I have to go to work soon, unfortunately, guys. But it's just funny because people are like, "Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't marry a Vikings fan." I'm like, well,
I'm not.
I was like,
I really. That's not part of the resume. Like, well, who do you root for? Oh, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm sorry, we can't get married. We can't date.
I'm sorry, we can't do it. I mean, listen, I would not marry a Packers fan. Let's be honest here. Okay, I think it makes it easier being in the AFC.
Dan was a Cowboys fan. I say he was.
He's a convert.
He's converted to a Vikings fan, but he was a Cowboys fan.
Man, okay, yeah. Cowboys, Yankees. What are you, a Lakers fan too?
Oh, bandwagon.
Yep.
Oh, the bandwagon.
I'm not. I can't hate. It must be good to win.
You can hate on the Cowboys, but for Yankees.
No, I don't hate on the Cowboys. I laugh.
So we've got a reason for one, but you can hate on the other two all you want.
I hate on the Cowboys all the time.
I mean, it was what I was raised to do.
We converted
I get it.
I converted it.
What a weird team to convert to.
Yeah, I mean, we made it a deal when we got married. So she cares more about football and I care more about baseball.
I understand.
So because of that, I don't mind switching my football team to the Vikings.
And I don't mind switching mine to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Good trade. I like that's what marriage is all about. Compromise. Yeah, no, wonderful couple. And way to compromise. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and we did that really early on.
Yeah, we did that maybe 2 years in.
It didn't take 5 years.
Well, we can't be doing this.
Well, I kind of like how the Vikings and Colts are starting to play each other more often, because we compromise in our marriage, going to a Viking game once a year and going to a Colts game once a year. So if they keep playing each other, it kind of works out perfectly.
That's really
the first few years we put I think that's why it wasn't an issue, because we played them so we could go to the game.
Yeah.
An excuse. And then afterwards we're like, we just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
One of us can't be leaving happy while the other one's leaving devastated.
See how nice that is?
Dan would never be devastated.
Oh, I thought it was because one of us was drunk and the other wasn't.
Hey, maybe that too.
Fair.
AMarie, I know you have to leave us.
Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
No. I'm happy to come back on. This is a good time for me to jump on people's pods and stuff. So anytime you want me back, I would love to. Please just keep doing it anytime we lose. So that'd be great.
I would say we would go see you do your routine, but Japan's a little far for me to go.
It's a little far, but if you're happy to be in Tokyo, I perform at Tokyo Comedy Bar like once a week. Nice. In the center of Tokyo.
I'm so glad you're still doing that, because I know how much you love it. And
it's so fun. And then I sold out, did corporate media. Highly suggest don't doing that. It makes sports not fun.
That's fair.
But I'm happy I did it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy I'm doing it, but man, it really it makes sports harder to enjoy.
Sure does.
So
But
enjoy your podcasting and every content creating, man, because I rather do that, to be honest with you.
the good thing is nobody had to hire me. I get to do this just because I want to.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't even have to be
Freedom,
good at
baby.
it.
I know, this is awesome. And no, thanks. And I'm so glad. And again, I love the Viking community. I know a lot of us don't agree on a lot of things, but I think it's a fun little messed up family. And stop being a wishy-washy fan, though. Okay, if Sam Darnold has you stick behind your team, dude. Like, you can be upset at them, yell at them, because we all are experts at the end of the day, right? We know more. We know more than Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores. I mean, we're all experts.
And Queasy, I know more than our GM too, man. Why aren't they calling me when it's time?
That's my favorite. I'm like, okay, guys. But no, stay positive, be upset, be passionate, enjoy it. I'm excited. So I'll be watching the game live for once. I can't do the 2 a.m. I can't do it. So I think the Vikes will pull this out. We're at home. I think it's a bounce back game, but it's going to be close. I think it'll come down to a field goal.
Perfect.
As
long as it's our guys making the field goal, excellent.
Hey, I'm knock on wood. We haven't had a disappointing kick yet. So.
See, and if he misses one on Sunday, we'll just blame him.
Oh, yeah, fire him.
No, first we got to cut him, and then we got to blame you. So
correct.
Because you said something.
But thanks, guys. I hope to come back on soon.
You're welcome anytime. Anytime.
Bye. Skol.
All right, Skol. See you,
Good
partner.
luck for the Yankees.
Yeah, we need it.
See you, partner.
All right, John,
nice
before we continue, we have to do our home run handshake for you and just in general. Ready?
Okay. Nice. Did they hit another one?
Wells.
Yep.
All right, Yanks. You never know what kind of content you're gonna get on our show.
Well, if they're not hitting home runs, they're not winning.
Sorry, everyone.
But they're hitting home runs, so.
Sorry, everyone who's listening.
We got to pick X factors for this coming game.
We do.
We do.
I guess we'll go with the winner gets to pick first.
Let's go. So I wrote down, the first person I wrote down was TJ Hawkinson. And when I was asking you before if we've heard anything, if he'll play, I would think that he would play because he was a maybe for last week. But he's going to be my X factor. Otherwise, can I say / tight end?
Yeah, you can do that because honestly, I have him on my list too, and I was going to say that. Yeah, if he doesn't play, you get our tight end.
Okay.
Whoever our T1 is, probably Oliver.
I think if he plays, this could be maybe not a insane game for him, but a integral moment game where he is like playing a really big role in just little moments. I don't think it'll be anything too crazy, but I think he'll be an X factor where he will be where he needs to be, where we didn't have people before, basically.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, we saw what can happen with the tight ends. We used him a little bit on Thursday.
Yeah.
We got a touchdown on a wonderful play that would have probably got us a first down against the Lions and maybe kept that drive alive. As we talked about, hey, misdirection with your tight end, son of a gun, it actually works. So I like the tight end choice. That's a good pick. All right, Dan.
I'm gonna go with Naylor.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to see a little bit more coverage on Jefferson because nobody's continuing to shut him down one-on-one. So I think we see some more pressure out of him or on him. And I think Addison continues to struggle to find out what it means to be an open receiver. And then, I think Naylor's going to have a big game.
Okay.
I'd like to see him get back into the mix too.
Same.
Well, I was going to pick Cam Robinson, but I'm not going to. I changed my mind because he's brand new, and I don't know I don't know if he's going to start or not.
How about you take him if he's playing, but who's your backup?
Yeah, it would have been
Brando? Isn't that his backup?
No, not his backup. Who's his second X factor?
Oh,
no, I'm not even going to take him.
Okay.
I'm going to take him off the list. It's time for Josh. It's time for our Swiss Army knife. We're going to need him a lot.
He was on my list.
Was he?
Yeah.
We need the Swiss Army knife to really have a big game this week.
Yes.
The running game. Somebody's got to stuff that running game.
Yep.
The Williams was ridiculous. He was 6 yards deep in the secondary before he was getting touched on Thursday night. And I think Josh is our guy. So I'm picking Josh Metellus, our Swiss Army knife.
Tell us with Metellus.
Tell us what you want, what you really, really want. That is my pick this week for the
I like
X Factor.
I like it.
It's a good pick.
All right, Cora.
Okay.
Get defensive.
My little moment on a soapbox right here. I'm gonna call last week that I called the loss, right? I wanted them to win, but I said I would win, but I was like, they have lost, or oh my gosh. I wanted them to win, but I said that they might not because of this reason. Every single team that the Lions have played this year, that next week they lose.
Yeah.
And I did a little dive into it on who they lost to and by how much the team lost to. So week 1, the Lions played the Rams. They then lost to the Cardinals 41-10. Then the Buccaneers. Oh wait, which team did they? Hold on one second. The Buccaneers. Then they went to lose to the Broncos. The Buccaneers lost the Broncos 26-7. Then we had the Cardinals. The Cardinals lost to the Commanders 42-14. The Seahawks lost to the Giants 29-20, and the Cowboys lost to the Niners 30-24. So almost every single game after you play the Lions is a blowout loss. And the fact that this wasn't a blowout loss gives me a little bit of hope.
And those teams had a full week.
Yeah. Those teams had a full week. And there was still hope until that fluke play missed call at the end. So I still think it gives me a little the season's not over. We're not disaster. Like, this was kind of expected by a lot of people. And it kind of showed who, like, just in the records of other teams, that after you play the Lions, you have a tough game next. Because, like, how do you lose to the Broncos? How do the Seahawks lose to the Giants? But then how do you lose to the Commanders 42-14?
It's the weirdest stat.
Yes, it is. Also, when I was looking up the next games after the loss, they have all won. Every single time they've won. And we don't know about the Cowboys because they play the Falcons next, but the Rams played the 49ers, the Buccaneers played the Eagles, the Cardinals played the 49ers, and the Seahawks played the 49ers. There's a weird trend where after you play the Lions, 2 weeks out, you're the 49ers next.
I love the game. I love that stuff. Now,
we'll see.
The reason I wore Bobby Boucher today, we need some tackling fuel on Sunday. Yes. We need to visualize an attack on Sunday.
The fact Harrison Phillips, I think that kind of, once that happened, I knew that this was not going to be a fun game to watch.
No, it wasn't. Like I said, 4 touchdowns directly after scores. You can't do that. You can't. Giving momentum back that quickly is just never a good thing.
Yeah. It was a heartbreaker. And
again, you're right. I mean, do you think we were going to come back even if they call that penalty? Most likely not. But you can't take the opportunity away from us because you don't know either.
Right. Yeah. Because we have done it in the past. Like we had made a play like that. and we have the weapons to be able to do it. So, like, do I think it was going to happen? Probably not. But it could, like, legitimately could have. And not like some stupid Hail Mary, some, like, freak accident. We've made stuff like that happen before.
Sure.
So it was frustrating.
But we're not going to live back there. We got to move ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, moving ahead. Dan, I know you're preoccupied right now, and you may keep this segment short because you're preoccupied.
How can I keep short my profound excitement for
The fact
what just happened this last week with Knicks? Because it's like I called it last week against the Panthers.
Yeah.
Now, I will say he did not outperform Caleb Williams in yards, because Caleb Williams, I believe, threw 308 yards in his game against the Panthers, and Bo Nix went 28 for 37 on 284 yards.
Not bad, though. 3
passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 124.16 QBR. One of the highest rankings this week. And I found an interesting stat on the old X Twitter thing. It's interesting for the fact that it says through October, Bo Nix is first in passing touchdowns. And for rookie quarterbacks, he is first in his touchdown interception ratio. He is first in passing yards. He's first in rushing touchdowns, and he's tied for first with 3 wins. It's interesting because Jaden Daniels played 3 games, and Caleb Williams also played 3 games in October, and Bo Nix played 4. So I went back and ran the numbers for the last 4 games that they have played. So Caleb Williams, or not Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels went out early against the Panthers in his game.
Yep.
2 completions, 2 pass attempts, 2 completions. But I did not count that week into his numbers. I went back 4 full games that he's played. So in the last 4 games, Nix has gone 82 for 123 on 870 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 7 sacks. He's rushed for 149 yards and scored 2 rushing touchdowns. Caleb Williams' last 4 games, 70 on 105 for 818 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 9 sacks, with only 143 yards rushing with no touchdowns. So more yards, slightly lower completion percentage compared to Caleb Williams. Same passing stats, but 2 additional total touchdowns accredited to it. Jaden Daniels, 85 for 130. So a very comparable completion rate with Nix, except he threw for 1,068 yards, but only 5 touchdowns on 2 interceptions. 8 sacks. He rushed for 203 yards and 1 touchdown. So even compared for the last 4 games, Nix is competing with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has more yards, but Nix has more total touchdowns accredited to him and fewer turnovers.
And Jaden Daniels has a better core.
Yep.
Yeah, Bo doesn't. We talk about this every week. He just doesn't really have a lot going.
He's not as bad as everyone says.
There were 3 passes to receivers downfield. Average, I think, was like 37 yard was the pass. Or no, one of the passes was 37. But they were all beyond 30 that the receivers, it went through their hands. And would have been huge conversions. huge pass gains. So I don't know. I'm seeing more and more media on Nick's is actually okay. He's
not as bad as we thought.
Sean Payton's really doing a lot with him. It's like, no, this is just Nick's.
He had more to prove because of where he came from. It was
Oregon?
People didn't believe in him because he came from Oregon, and because at Auburn he really wasn't that great. So it's like, well, is it just a matter of going to Oregon and being one of the Oregon quarterbacks who can do it in college, and once he gets to the NFL, he's like, he comes back to earth. I think there's a lot of skepticism about that, as there is and should have been with Ohio State quarterbacks, right? They all come out with high expectations, and until CJ Stroud, none of them really lived up to the hype.
Yep.
So there's always that.
But I'm excited. I think he's going to keep progressing, keep doing well, and he's continuing to change people's minds.
I also think Carolina should change their name to the Therapists, because after you walk out of there, you feel a lot better about yourself.
Yeah, they should. That's a good name change.
Except for Caleb Williams' return off Easy Street against the Commanders.
Oof.
He had a terrible game this last week.
He had a bad 3 quarters. His fourth quarter was actually ridiculously good. But, in the fourth quarter, there was a lot of freelancing he was doing out there, and it paid off for him. When he gets when he gets out of the pocket, he freelances pretty well.
Yep.
And that's where his strength is. But it's Matt Eberflus, so they won't let him do that.
Right.
That's fair.
And that's what you're seeing, I think, more with Nick's is he's getting out of the pocket more.
Yeah.
And he looks good. It's the Knicks I expected to see.
He's definitely making progress.
He's
no
not
doubt
as
about
bad
it.
as everyone says. I think everyone can say that now.
Yep. He's done very well, and maybe you'll get more people on your bandwagon, Dan. I'm sure there's plenty of seats available.
Yes, there are. It's not a short bus either. I guess seats for everybody here.
No. All right.
Oh my gosh.
I got lazy this week.
Okay.
Oh, you can never get lazy going back.
No, this is lazy, but I needed to do the lazy go back this week, and you'll see. You'll see how lazy it is. Let's go back all the way, November 17th, 2022.
Hey, I might remember this one.
Colts and the Vikings. Colts on the board first with about 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. Chase McLaughlin hits a 26-yard field goal. It started off with a 49-yard kickoff return, but the Vikings defense held and only allowed 3 points. It was only a minute later. JoJo Doman would return a blocked Ryan Wright punt, 24 yards, nothing Colts. And there were still 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Matt Ryan to Deion Jackson for a 1-yard touchdown. Colts took a 17-0 lead into the second quarter. This drive set up by a Dalvin Cook fumble. Things were not looking good for the Vikings on this day. Minutes of the second quarter, McLaughlin hits 2 field goals, one from 28, one from 49, lead up to 23-0. First field goal set up when the Vikings went for it on a 4th and inches from their own 29. Dalvin Cook got stuffed like a Christmas turkey. And then the second was set up. The Vikings ran a fake punt. Ryan Wright threw a pass towards Naylor, overthrew him. It looked like he had him open, but he's a punter. He's not supposed to be able to throw. So the Vikings were getting antsy and nervous early, and it cost them a lot of points. With 5:50 left in the half, Julian Blackmon would step in front of a Kirk Cousins pass and take it 17 yards to the house. 30-0 Colts. Colts would close out the McLaughlin field goal. 33-0 lead at the half for the Colts. The route was on. Or was it? With 8 minutes to play in the third, the Vikings finally get on the board. Cousins to KJ Osborne. 33-7 Colts. McLaughlin would make his 5th field goal of the day with about 5 minutes to play in the third. Colts were up 36-7 with just about 20 minutes left in this game.
I still can't believe it.
CJ Ham from a yard out with a minute left in the third. We head to the fourth, 36-14, and there's a little glimmer of light. And then with under 13 minutes to play, JJ, an 8-yard pass from Cousins, a pretty pass, wide open. Now it's 36-21, and if you're a Colts fan, you're thinking, uh-oh. But Kirk got picked off with about 8 minutes to go when Jalen Reagor ran the wrong route. And it looked like a bad overthrow. It was not. It was Reagor ran the wrong route. So now it's like, well, that was fun while it lasted. But 5.5 minutes to go. Adam Thielen from a yard out. Kirk would hit him. Now it's 36-28. We still have a little time left. 3.5 minutes left. Chandon Sullivan picks up a fumble and takes it to the house. And the referee said, not so fast. They blew a quick whistle. They did give the Vikings the ball, but it was clearly a scoop and score. It ended the return. The Vikings would not score in that drive. So that was points they took away from us. However, with 2:19 left in the game, down 8, the Vikings held on 4th and inches. Bent in half and pushed back. So now, as Lloyd Christmas might say, so you say we have a chance. And we
have
do.
a chance.
The next play, little screen pass, Dalvin Cook. Weaves, bobs, and carries people on his back. 64 yards. Vikings are within 2. And then Kirk hits TJ Hawkinson for the 2. It's 36 all as we head into overtime. We had a couple of possessions exchanged. The Vikings took the ball, and with 3 seconds to play in the game, Greg Joseph from 40 yards out tried him through. 39-36. Comeback win. Stats for today. Kirk Cousins, 34 for 54, 460 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was sacked 7 times in this game. And with 11 minutes to go, for 222 yards. So think about that.
I can't. That game.
Dalvin had 95 yards on 17 carries, 95 receiving yards on. AJ Osborne, best game of his Viking career, 157 yards, 10 catches, and a touchdown. JJ, 12 catches, 123 yards, a touchdown. Our defense may have sounded like they were bad. They were not that bad in this game. Eric Kendricks, 7 tackles, 5 assists, 4 for loss. Harrison Phillips, 4 tackles, 7 assists in the game. A lot of the points that the Colts had were set up by bad decisions by the Vikings. Pick 6, a block punt, a fake punt that went nowhere, going for it on your own 29. So the defense was put in a hole or didn't give up the points at all. Why is this game notable? Well, it did clinch the Vikings the division for the first time in a while, but that's not why we were talking about this game. This was the largest comeback win in NFL history. The Vikings coming from 33 points down to win the game. Was I lazy this week? Yeah. Did I care? No. That is this week's Valhalla back.
You can also add in there that it was the
First time, 1 in 99 games that a team had come back. What it was at 33-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
The first time
that
a team was able to do that, and I'm pretty sure it's still the only time.
Oh yeah, no one's done it.
So
nope. The Vikings still have they have that record. They have 2 records, and it was funny when they interviewed Kirk and he had no idea.
I know.
Yep.
I that's one of the things I remember most from the game because they interviewed him and he's like, "What?" The first time, and like you could just watch the emotion on his face as they were telling him, and it like hit him. He's like, the first time, you could tell that game meant a lot to him.
I had things to do that day, which is terrible scheduling. So I was listening in the car as things just went worse and worse. And I got home, but I was recording the game. I got home and I don't know why I sat down to watch it, but I did. I think I actually watched it on a split screen. It's like, all right, I don't want to hear what's going on, but I'm watching it, and then it's like, all right, I got to put the sound on. And it was just crazy. It was wild, and I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again.
No, that was incredible.
I wanted to dig and find another game. I said, no, I'm not going to do it this time. I'm going
And
with
we have
Don't need to.
and we have CJ Ham's iconic
yeah.
meme face. I don't even know which one it is, but
It's
that
a
was
good
such-
game now because we know what happened.
yeah.
It was not a good game that day.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time for predictions, and then looks like we have a little time for our Nostradamus question today.
Yeah.
Or do you want to do the question first and then predictions? It's up to you guys.
Let's do prediction and then question.
Yeah.
Okay. Cora, what do you got?
Well, I think we're gonna win. Can I go as atrocious as Dan did last time?
You can do whatever you want.
42-12.
Wow. Do you think we're going to just show up and say we've had enough? We've
Yeah.
had enough of this, and we're going to take it out on Joe Flacco.
Okay, maybe not 42. Maybe we'll do 39.
So 39-12. Okay. Go for it. What do you got, Dan?
Is that score even possible?
I've got us winning, but
Yeah.
I think B-Flow's defense is starting to get found out. I think we win 36-28.
So you're like a lot of points in this one too.
Yep.
I think found out might not be I don't know if found out, but I think we're being exposed for not having as much talent maybe as we thought we had. The pieces aren't meshing as well. Our front line, our defensive line is really not.
Yeah, that
good.
was 3 pressures. Oh,
Yep.
we don't.
I
Have to
think
talk about that
I think Dallas Turner's got to play more.
Yeah.
I think it's time to unleash the beast and see what he can do.
Yeah. Let's
He's
go.
AWOL. He's not even out there. Like he can't be worse than these guys. You draft him in the first round, use him. I think it might be time to make some personnel decisions, at least up front. And I don't think we're done trading yet. I still think we might find somebody to fill the gaps on the line. All
Yeah.
that said,
I would agree with that.
I am going with the curse of the backup quarterback,
Oh no.
which bites us every time. I've said this on Twitter. I've said this in this podcast. Flacco's going to go off for like 320 yards, a couple of scores, and the Vikings are going to lose 27-21.
Oh,
Oof.
Why? Why would you even put
Curses
that out
reign heavy.
into the world?
I know. I didn't want to, but I have to. They've got to show me something. It's time to show me that
I think they will this game.
And if they do, I will probably stop doing what I did today. But until they show me they can stop the run, until they show me they aren't going to let receivers run free in the secondary,
Sir.
until they show me that when we score points, they can hold the opposition off the board, I'm going to pick against them. Because their last 2 games, they have done. That's what's happened. It's a bad trend, and this is a good chance to make it stop. You know, playing Joe Flacco, who was great at one time. I still think Flacco's better at his age than Aaron Rodgers is right now.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is awful.
Yeah,
I have not appreciated a person's downfall as much as I've appreciated Aaron Rodgers.
oh gosh, everybody loves it. Even his I shouldn't say even his family loves it because they don't like him anyway.
Right?
But I have to do this, and I don't feel good about it, picking the Colts to beat us this week. But if they prove me wrong, I will change my ways.
Okay.
All right, now on to pleasant things. Because it's almost an hour in, and this is what we do.
Yeah.
What's your question this week? Dan, do you have one this week?
I'll come up with one quick.
Oh gosh.
All right, Cora, what's your question? I'm going to just make this your joint question anymore if Dan can't come up with one.
We could do that. I am going to do the tell us from a tell us thing.
Okay.
The question for the team was there anything when you were younger that you got away with that your parents never found out?
Oh. When I was younger, that they never found out?
Yep.
Wow.
I feel like Dan's got a lot of things.
There's not much that got by my mom and dad.
I've got an Italian mom or an Italian dad and a Polish mom. Nothing got by them.
Yeah, I mean, they got all the practice in the world of how to catch stuff with my brother.
There's nothing that you ever did that your parents didn't find out about? You got in trouble for all the things that you did?
No.
No?
If I did them responsibly.
I can't remember if I ever got away with anything with my parents.
I would have thought you would have had one for sure.
I got in trouble for stuff my sisters did.
I got my brother in trouble for stuff.
My sister once took the car and went somewhere she wasn't supposed to go, and I got yelled at because I had a baseball game that night and I didn't leave the game to go take her home. It's like, what? Are you serious? I was supposed to quit, like walk off the field and
sorry.
So
Supposed to pull an AR.
I wish I could remember something I did and got away with as a kid. But man, if I did anything wrong, I got caught. So that's why I really didn't do a lot wrong either. It's like, I don't want to get caught. I want to be in trouble.
That's
so
fair.
It's a great question. But the answer to me is no. I never did anything and didn't get caught.
I did a lot. And I would get in trouble for some stuff, but it was went out to a party in high school and got drunk. Well, did you drive? No. Who drove? Well, AJ did, and he was sober. Oh, okay.
Here, I'll give you one, and this is lame. This is how lame it was. I went to an R-rated movie when I was 17, and they didn't know. When there was like 18 was the age. So we told them we were going to see a PG movie, and we saw an R-rated movie, and they never found out. That's it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, I guess, I mean, I never really did a lot wrong. Like, I was a pretty good kid. But what Dan was not, I was an angel child. But when I was really little, on our drive to North Carolina to go see my aunt and uncle, we stopped through, like, I think we went through, like, Kentucky and Tennessee and a couple other states, and we just did, like, sightseeing. My brother and I distinctly remember this, but we had stolen candy from the front register. Like, we're young enough where it could be like, in my mind, I didn't know you had to pay for it.
Yeah.
But, like, I wasn't going to ask my mom to have it. If I could have it, I was just going to take it. So I wasn't going to ask if you had to pay for it. So we just took it. So we're young enough where that's something in your head, but, like, old enough where you should know better or you should ask. And so we had stolen candy, and then my mom found out, made us take the candy back and apologize to the front desk person. But what she didn't know was that we each also took a chapstick.
So it was a little.
You remember it? It was a blue chapstick that that you squeeze and you rub on your lips and it has a little whatever. So it wasn't like a normal chapstick, but we both
Carmex.
also ended up like a Carmex. But we both ended up taking one of those as well.
While you're looking at what's in my right hand, I got something in my left hand that you didn't catch.
Yeah. So that was mine. That's the only one I could think of, and I don't know how old I was. I don't know. I was back in the day when you could rent, like, I used to work at a movie scene, and you could rent a movie $1 per day per rental. So you could rent 10 movies, and have them for 10 days for $10.
$100
No, $1.
per day.
$1. Yeah, so it's $1. You got the movie for 1 day.
Yeah.
And it was one movie.
Yeah.
So if you got 10 movies,
Yeah.
you spent $10.
But you had them for 10 days.
Yes.
That's $100.
It's $100.
No. No.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So
For every day
no,
you
it's
keep
not.
it out, it's $1.
No,
I'm not
because
sure.
the one, like 2 movies was 2 days for $2. 3 movies was 3 days for $3.
Oh,
You could get like 10 movies for 10 days for $10.
all right. There you go.
Get out of here.
That's blockbuster math. For
No,
you.
it's not. It wasn't Blockbuster.
Hey,
Um,
I worked at a video store when I was in college, so don't pick on the video store work.
Oh, that was my like first real job besides delivering papers.
I'm saying like
Worked there for
blockbuster
4
math
years.
because they went bankrupt.
That's fair.
We were talking about that the other day, the job I had when I worked in the video store. So I was like, everybody was a checker because that's all you did, right? You worked the register. But we also had to clean and dust off the cases, and everybody got a section. Do you want to guess what section I got to dust?
The DVDs.
The adult movie section.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
So, and we had, and the adult movies were behind swinging saloon doors.
That's
So that was my job. I had to do that, and I'll never forget it because I had to quit that store to go to school and work at a different job. And then when I was in college, I needed more extra money, so I applied at another one of their stores. And the woman who was my manager at this first store I worked at happened to be the manager at the second store. And you know what she did to me there? She made me dust the adult section again. And I said, really? Really? She said, come on, it's our thing. It's like, no, it's not our thing. It's your thing. I don't want to go in that room. So.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is hilarious and awful, and I feel sorry for you.
Terrible. Ugh. I got a question, though.
All right.
What you got?
Because we're starting to get late. All right. Seeing in honor of my Waterboy shirt, your 3 all-time, and I'm letting you go 3 because 1 is always a pain to try and pick. Your 3 all-time favorite football movies.
I think, in all honesty, 1 would be the easiest for me right now.
Remember the Titans.
Yep. Remember the Titans.
You don't have to do 3 if you don't want to.
Friday Night Lights.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm just going to go with 1 and then add in an inspirational movie, The Miracle on Ice.
Core breaking the rules, you know.
Only because
Great.
it is my favorite sports movie of all. It's like my favorite movie.
Yeah, but what if I was going to use a question like that down the road? Now you might have ruined
Then I will re-answer the same thing.
it.
Oh, jeez.
What? I guess Remember the Titans, Blindside. I liked that one. And I liked Invincible. That was a good one too.
Yeah, except it was about a guy who played for the Eagles, so no.
Yeah.
I
Dan's looking at movies right now.
gotta go with Rudy.
He was offsides, though.
I know, but it's still good.
I liked it, and I don't like. Dee's a Notre Dame fan. I am not, but I thought it was pretty good.
See, that's where it's hard because it's like We Are Marshall. Like such a good football movie.
That's a good movie.
On the raunchy side, you have Varsity Blues, and it's like it's incredibly hilarious.
I still stand by mine. All right. Let's pick
All
one.
right. Rudy is my
Okay.
third.
Okay.
All right. So my 3, I'm not totally different from you guys. The Waterboy, number 3.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So many good lines in that movie.
Water sucks.
It really, really sucks. Yes, exactly. We sing that around the house.
Gatorade.
H2O.
We stop making fun of me.
How do you like that can of whoop ass?
Courtesy of Captain Insano. Number 2, the replacements,
Oh.
Yeah.
which I still think Washington should have named their team.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would have been hilarious.
So the Sentinels would have been nice. And number 1 is definitely Remember the Titans. That is an all-timer. Now, there are 2 other movies I didn't make the list. They make my top 5. Little Giants
Oh.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Necessary Roughness.
Okay.
Okay. I
I
haven't
don't
seen
think I've
that.
seen that one.
Okay, Necessary Roughness is about a guy who goes back to college. He's 36 years old. The team gets the death penalty from the NCAA, so they got to build a team just from walk-ons. And this guy never went to college. He was supposed to go to Penn State, which is why I remember it. He never went to college. His dad died. He stayed back to run the farm. And one of the coaches remembered him and went and recruited him. So they had like a 36-year-old quarterback, and they had, I think it was 11 guys on the team. So now they're playing Iron Man football with these 11 guys. And every walk-on had some kind of like weird, like there was an Australian rugby player who made the team.
That's awesome.
And their kicker was a girl they found. They needed a kicker, and she was kicking for the soccer team, and she hit, kicked the ball that came flying over. They brought her in, and she became their kicker. So, and they announced they weren't allowed to be on like national TV or radio, so it was only like local college radio. Rob Schneider is the announcer for the local college radio.
Nice.
So if you get a chance to find it, Sinbad is in this one too.
Okay.
He plays on the off. He's another guy, right? He had a year of eligibility left, and they recruit him, and he's like in his 30s, and he plays on the defensive line, and I liked it. It was really funny. To me, it was funny.
We'll have to look up that one.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good ones, but those would be like my favorites.
Dan was in the Doom Scroll because he was looking for his third, and he Googled football movies. And he's in the Doom Scroll, and I was like, all right. These are all really, really good. Make a decision.
Pick one.
They're all.
And he
they're all
didn't
good.
even reach the bottom yet.
No.
So who doesn't love a good inspirational movie that'll like make you run through a wall?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, we're well over time limit as usual.
It's fair.
Yeah.
So close.
Hey, we're not at the 110 mark yet, though.
No, but we always run long. And it always happens when we do this question. We go long because we go off on tangents, which is why we call ourselves Three Blind Vikes, because that's what we do. Hoping for a win, hoping to break this funk we're in, hoping the extra time off has them ready to play this game, and hoping Joe Flacco doesn't play like Super Bowl Joe Flacco, that he plays like old man Flacco. We'll talk about this one and more on our show next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, same time, same place. We'll be here.
Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good night.
All right, Skol us out, guys.
School.
School. School. School. School. School. School. School. School. School. School. School.
School.
We are